Mr. Borgin, I'm here with you. I'm here with Mr. Borgin. Facebook friends is a very well-known activist. This gentleman is an expert in almost everything. Borgin, really tell me, give me a whole rundown of Carnival and what you think, especially the leadership of Carnival. Please tell me something.
First and foremost, Brent, I am not no expert in almost everything. Matter of fact, I don't think I'm an expert in anything. And you need to behave yourself. Carnival needs more than an injection in it right now. Yeah. Carnival needs such a big boost with respect to what all taking place right now in the whole thing. If we look at the launch of Carnival, for instance, I wasn't saying it was so great, but in terms of saying it's so great, I don't know what they're talking about. The whole scenario is, for instance, right now, look at in relation to Calypso. And Calypsonians, I don't know what's going on with the Calypsonians. I hear something for Calypso, I hear some other thing for soca. I don't know what really going on. The mass at the launch of Carnival, well, let's say the mass man boycott. But if you don't have mass at the launch, for some reason, you're not going to get so many people in there, and people looking forward to that. But the whole general aspect of it and all that. But as I say, Carnival need more than an injection, it needs a boost. And we need to sit down and practically discuss it. Year after year, we keep getting some stories, the same stories over. You know, we have the whole financial aspect and that and all that. But however,
hate to cut in here, but this is not Aubrey Burgin. I find that you are a bit diplomatic today. Can you just come clear, please? Let us talk about the leadership in the Carnival. Please, Mr. Borgin.
Leadership in Carnival.
Yeah, let's just tell.
The CDC?
Take for instance, you want me to point you to certain things?
No, you don't point me. Listen.
Yeah.
The leadership of the CDC, the Carnival Development Corporation.
Yes.
In my opinion.
And don't choose your language. This is not Borgin. Come on, Borgin.
Well, why are you harassing me?
Okay, I'm telling you, 14 years. A gentleman is the chairman. What do you think about that?
Well, probably he's doing something that me and you are unaware of, Brian. I know, for instance, among the leadership.
Jesus, so if you're unaware of it.
Hold on, Brian.
Yes.
On an annual basis, most of the leadership of the CDC travel throughout the Caribbean. Some go to London, some go to New York, some go to Canada for these, whether it's Labor Day, whether it's...
Evasive again, Mr.
Hold on, Brian.
Let's lock down this thing.
Brian, behave your damn self, no man. And
okay,
listen,
okay,
and don't cut this thing. Everything I say, I want you to bring it.
Yes.
They go to these things, I believe, to get other new ideas, but I'm not seeing the new ideas coming when they go to all these shows in overseas and that sort of thing. As I say, we need a lot of new innovations in the CDC. I think some of the persons in the leadership are a bit tired, you know. Well, not even a bit, they're plenty tired.
Yeah, nice language.
They should take a sojourn from this
But
thing.
me and you are Carnival man from before we born. Now listen. How could you be talking in this way when we know that in the 80s, say, from the 80s, 85 straight up to 95, Carnival was at a peak. And this carnival now, you know, Aubrey Burgin, that we have now present, can't compare with 15 years ago. That have to be something is wrong. And the language that you're using, I'm really not pleased. So can you start over, please? Can you tell me about 4 chairmen who are like we talking Lennox Bowman, we talking Bambo Providence, we talking Junior Bacchus, we talking Mr. Howie Prince. Those 4 people, if you add up their years, it can't compare with the amount of years this present chairman is. This is 14 years. And you give me this pretty language here, while our carnival, when our carnival is going to nothing. I end up not really being the interviewer here. I'm part of the conversation. Tell me, Mr. Borgin.
Brian, first and foremost, as I mentioned before, probably the present chairman is doing something that we are not au fait with.
Pretty
that is
language.
Why he's there for 14 years.
Yes.
That is the whole thing. As I mentioned.
What have they brought to the table? Can you please tell me?
I am not a member of the Carnival Development.
No, but what you know, you are, come on, man, you're an activist in everything. Borgin, what has this present dispensation, CDC?
It has had its ups and its downs. We have seen so much improvements in, for instance, the Queen Trust improvements. We have had our ups and downs in the Carnival, the mass. We have seen an increase in mass. One of the things I don't like about mass is that you end up having so many bands now, and you are seeing a lot of repetition in terms of mass.
Yes, okay.
Calypso, we have been on a dung. You know that, I know that. People say a person go in the park and say, for instance, oh, the standard of Calypso is so high. I don't know what they're talking about. The Calypso thing last year.
Would you say there is interference, please?
No.
No interference?
I wouldn't say so, no.
Okay.
Because you still get certain Calypsonians singing.
You don't see the infiltration of judges who not really judges? Some people who don't even have a clue about music?
The fact
you didn't see that, Mr.
The fact
Morgan?
that I'm on the Calypso Association, Brian.
Yeah.
But I would comment on it. I have seen a situation where judges, or to select judges from when they go to the symposium and that sort of thing. But I think a number of them still need a lot of training in respect of judging Calypso, because I always say, if you don't know Calypso, you could know all the music in the world.
Yeah.
You could be an arranger. If you don't know Calypso, you generally can't.
So you're
judge
telling me that
Calypso
there are not judges there who no aspect of Carnival they were ever involved in. No aspect of music they are art.
No,
but they are still judges.
No, most of the judges have been involved in music for many years.
Now, I wouldn't like to call names because I'm the interviewer here.
Many years.
So I wouldn't get involved in that one. But I disagree with you.
Well, that's your opinion. You don't. Well, you don't even go in the park.
I don't go in the park.
You go in the park and you broadcast and talk a lot of crap, Brian. That have no link to Carnival. Instead, you comment on what participate on the stage. You comment on other things.
Thank you.
You had to learn from me, Brian.
But you remember,
to me?
the periphery of Carnival is important too, you know. The periphery.
However,
yes.
There needs to be improvement.
Yes.
There definitely needs to be improvement. You mentioned the thing about going down 85 to 9, well, you could say 80 to 95, 96.
Yeah. Best years.
Yeah, very best years. In terms of a lot of things in respect of it.
Yeah. And we are talking to the expert in Old Mass. Morgan, I really must commend you and your family, what you all have done for our Old Mass every year. Some real innovative things I've seen on stage. You have not always won the competition that you compete in, but I tell you, I think you're always some way up in the top 3 and you're a hero when it comes to that. I really must applaud you and you for your bravery and even coming out here and talking, because in St. Vincent you can't talk, you know. It's a strange thing now, a phenomenon that has crept into our country where fear is a factor. And I really must applaud you for coming out here and saying something. Although you use diplomatic language. Off camera you were different. Off camera you were vociferous at certain things. But it's alright, that's your right.
Brian, fear is, the acronym for fear is false evidence appearing real. I remember a gentleman said that years ago.
Yeah.
So this thing about people can't talk, that really, you know. You see, you have to know what to talk.
Yes.
That is the whole thing. And people misconstrue what a number of us say in respect to what a number of us say. And some people talk without having the facts and the knowledge and respect of that. I don't do that. If I don't know about a particular...
I had to chop in you because me and you are two parrots. We talk
and Brian, I'm not running for any election.
No, not that part. I want to ask you something. There's one little thing that hurt maybe you and me because we are old school. There is this thing where a fella could land a helicopter in park and win a competition when that is not one of the criteria. What do you think about that, Mr. Morgan?
Over the years, I've seen a repetition of things on stage. And persons have 4 and 5 lines and keep winning because they have all these theatrics in the park, and that is not part of it. You know it and I know it.
You know the criteria, you could tell them? Originality, rendition, and
stage performance. As far as I'm concerned, it appears to me over the years, the judges, in terms of, for instance, the Soca Monarch show, I always say the judge's decision is final, but we don't have to accept it as individuals. You know, not that we could change it. But the fact of the matter is, I've seen young guys come in the park. I've seen Gallinair. His name come to mind.
Scorpion.
Up and coming. And these guys have been there. And the thing, but you mentioned Scorpion. Scorpion sang 2 tunes last year, won the crown. And up to now, it's only did finals night. I heard the second tune. I never hit after that.
Yeah.
One of our problems, see, you know this happening? Our Calypso King can't go anywhere overseas to perform.
Not this one we have here. I differ with you.
To perform in all these islands there, I'm not saying it don't go overseas and perform.
Okay.
And I'm not picking on the individual, because what we have in this country, when it's this certain thing, especially relative to that, people get upset, their family get upset, people feel they're coming out against them. I'm a practical man.
Yes.
You know? You don't keep borrowing pieces of people tune and adding them up together and making Calypso. And I'm not talking about any particular Calypsonian. I've seen that in the park.
Yeah.
You've never seen a Calypsonian.
I also have problems with the Soca Monarch. And I really think we'd like to see a change with that.
The theatrics need to go. Man, come on stage and perform. I am not saying it could bring.
But you could change the criterion. I feel you could say show originality, show lyrics, because I don't hear no lyrics up to now in the park.
No, that's what I'm telling you.
So I don't know I don't really and truly. And but it's not even here, it's happening in Trinidad too.
Yes, also Trinidad.
Because every soca man out down the hero sing, they press a button and you get tracks running, and I see his mouth going different to what is being said.
So you're saying fellas is lip syncing in the
Yeah,
park?
of course, I don't have the lip, but the background vocal, all the music, the whole band in the Burgin. The whole band is miming, because they're playing behind.
All right.
They're playing sequences and stems, what they call stems. The whole thing has changed.
But you're man into music and sequencing and all. You sure you have something to do with it?
You told me I don't go in the park. You're flip-flopping, Mr. Burgin. Oh, you have anything else to add, sir? Because this is a long video.
To add?
Yeah.
You mean generally?
Yes.
Not even outside Carnival?
No, not outside. Don't go to politics. I hate you want to run against liquor. But let's not talk about that today. Let's talk about something else.
No, Carnival, we gotta be real, we gotta be realistic. Things are not, economically things are not as good as they are. I anticipate we may have a drop in persons playing mass this year. We have seen it. Some bands have improved and increased, but overall, generally, we need to lift the standard. Calypso's on a down, you mentioned the soca, the raga soca, all these things. We gotta stop coming to the park and giving people two-liners, sing 2 lines for 8 minutes on stage, and that sort of things. You know, that sort of thing has to work out.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you very much, Mr. Burgin, for coming here. Your very busy time out on your retirement. Very busy while you're retired, to come and give us.
When I'm not retired. When you retire is when you're going down in the cemetery. What is the matter with you? I've left one joint and I'm moving on to other things.
Yeah. So good day. Have a very good day. Thanks for being so brave. You'll hear this tomorrow on the streets. Thank you.